Okay, good evening, folks. It is around about 10 o'clock on the 19th of May 2010. Just going to do a quick run through these charts, see what's happened today. The Aussie dollar's kind of really fallen away. I wasn't really expecting it to follow through this quick, and as you see, we've got pretty close to the target today. Although we're seeing a bit of a recovery later on in the day, but it's still going to be a pretty bearish close if we remain around about where we are. So I'm not too worried that we've had a bit of a bounce from there, and still going to hold this same target. I can still see this target being breached. Interestingly though, we've had a bit of a development here on the weekly chart, which is the removal of the lower bat support. So just looking for a move up to 86.19 now, which would then complete the sell setup here on this Aussie dollar. We're going to remove the TDST support to the close this week, so a lot of bearish signals coming through here, and we've got, let me see, one more full week left of the month, and then we're going to make a bearish thrust on the monthly. So I mean, we could come all the way up and test the 89.34, but the other level I'm going to be looking at is the 86.45 level for a retest and an area to sell. So it's looking like this pair's turning quite bearish, and we could see it move down towards the 77 area, which is also the second target level on the daily fib extensions. Basically the same, pretty much the same level, about 10-15 pips out. So that's interesting how the market sort of expanded itself, and that's where the targets have come. So if we do see a bit of a bounce from here, it would be better if we could close the week here, or even maybe a little bit lower, make our target, and then have a bounce from here and look to get involved again. But basically, this pair's starting to look quite bearish now on the weekly, and going to be the monthly as well. So hopefully that'll keep developing. The euro pound is still nothing. Interestingly, the euro pound and the pound Swiss franc have both gone up today. We have removed this bearish thrust level on the pound Swiss franc, so it might be an idea to keep an eye on that level tomorrow, 1.6542. I mean, it's a pretty tough one to call, though. I don't know if I would really fancy this one actually, just because of the whole kind of action that we've had recently, and it just doesn't really look as clear as a lot of pairs are looking. So yeah, I mean, it probably would be worth watching this one on a 5 minute chart and see if we can't have some sort of signal to buy at some point. But I mean, you can see how it got to this level and then it spiked through. So it did struggle there to begin with, and then spiked through. So I'd certainly expect this level to produce some kind of support now. And I mean, we are still bullish on the daily until this lower bat support's broken. So yeah, it probably would be actually worth keeping an eye on this level tomorrow. And taking it as a full trade though, it's quite a lot of risk, like 200 pips risk. So I would just maybe look for a bounce, sort of right on this level. If you don't get it, I would just leave it. Personally, I mean the risk is obviously for a bounce any time as long as we don't breach today's low, but it's quite a big risk. So I would be a bit careful with that one. Um, Euro yen, we're just seeing a small kind of bounce in these pairs. To be expected. Euro yen's having a wee bounce here, and Euro US dollar as well. It's getting stronger into the close. Um, Looks like we could be going to challenge this 1.2441 level. Carol just asked me there about this thrust level on the monthly. The problem with this, Carol, is that we really need to see this level removed to the close and established before we can actually sell the retest. I think to actually sell the retest before the level's been taken is not how it's done. So I would just leave that and see if we can't close below that level next week, and then it could be a possible selling level. but also, as I say, we've completed a buy setup here on the weekly chart. So if we have a closing week like this, a small hammer candle, it's quite likely that we'll start to see some more upside. Well, not some more, but maybe a bit of a correction finally in this euro as maybe the worries start to die down. Pound yen, same bit of a hammer candle forming here. We've been down and tested that TDST support level again this week. Still looking for these pairs to come down, but as I said before, we could still get up to that 139.38 level going into next month. So not at all worried by seeing a bit of a bounce here. So moving on to the pound dollar is similar. Obviously seeing a bounce. I know the FOMC meeting was out today, but still looking for it to come lower. 9 count buy setup on the monthly is the only thing that's maybe going to pull it up, but still overall, still looking at that coming lower. And US dollar CAD, just this is just the unfortunate one that we got taken out break even. We did make some pips initially, break even. It did bounce from my level, and there was a couple of good signals underneath there on the 5 minute chart. Um, I'll not go through them. I went through them yesterday. And finally, the US dollar yen, it's going to close right at this 91.71, so I can't see us really being able to build up any kind of sort of signal to fail at that level, so it's looking a bit more unlikely now. I mean, if we could maybe get down to maybe like the 50 level, the 40 level, maybe before the close, there's still another hour left, then possibly, but the way it's looking on the close at the moment, I wouldn't be too keen on taking that signal either. Um, yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. Again, not just too much going on, but I will see what happens tomorrow. Okay, cheers.